How could it be otherwise, offering my final sermon as Senior Rabbi of this great congregation? So many memories of moments in this extraordinary sanctuary. I well remember walking into this room for the first time when I offered my sermon after applying for the position of assistant rabbi, trying to make sense of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln in stained glass. I could never have imagined what awaited me in this space during the next 44 years. What a blessing it has been, though it is a bit disorienting today. Fittingly, for a Shabbat like this, even the Torah portions are a bit off kilter. The pairing of Chukat and Balak, the double portion that we read this morning, only happens in Galut. It only happens in the diaspora. This Shabbat is one of the very few instances where the Torah reading for Jews in the diaspora is out of sync with our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael. Without going into too much detail, it occurs in years when the second day of the holiday of Shavuot falls on Shabbat. The unusual pairing of these portions is fortuitous for me, for it offers a powerful foundation from which to speak to you on this Shabbat. I'm struck by two ideas that arise from these two Torah readings. One speaks directly to me about leadership in this transitional moment. The other is a charge for you, the Anshe Emet community, as we all go forward from this day. The portion of Chukat records the deaths of Miriam and Aaron and God's decree that Moses will not be allowed to enter the promised land. The man who led the people through the splitting of the sea would not be able to lead the people across the Jordan River. Moses, Miriam, and Aaron each made their own vital contributions to the Jewish story of Yitziat Mitzrayim, of the going forth from Egypt. According to the Midrash, a well followed Miriam wherever she went in the desert experience. While Aaron was alive, the pillar of fire that led the people forward, that pillar representing God's presence, was always present. And then there was the manna that is associated with Moses. But a deeper look at the parashah offers a lesson on the natural progression of leadership. Aaron's son, Eliezer, takes on the vestments of the Kohen Gadol from his father in this portion. Moses asked God to appoint Joshua as his successor in this portion. And in time, women like Hannah and Esther will follow Miriam's example of spirit, of faith, and courage. Thoughtful leadership succession is the mark of a healthy nation, healthy institutions, and most certainly a healthy synagogue. There are always new Jordans to cross, and a next generation of leaders is needed to take the people forward. As I said at the onset, this Torah portion speaks loudly to me at this transitional moment of my own leadership in this congregation. In 1990, I was a very young rabbi when given the opportunity to become Senior Rabbi of Anshe Emet. There were some in the congregation who believed I was not the right choice. I find it shocking as well. They thought the congregation needed someone more seasoned for such a prominent role. Looking back, their skepticism about a young rabbi out of the seminary for just 8 years was understandable. But there were also leaders here who saw something in me that I did not yet see in myself. I was 36 years old. Fittingly, 36 years have passed since that day. As I now step down from this position and make way for my successors, I would like to believe that the congregation's faith in me at that time was well-founded. Back then, I could not have predicted just how steep the learning curve would be. One of the great advantages that I had was to find myself in a congregation with historic rabbinic, cantorial, educational, and lay leadership, people who are unafraid to dream and take the risks to fulfill those dreams. Leaders who refused to settle for what had always been done and marshaled their creativity and love of all things Jewish. Anshe Emet Synagogue set the standard for congregations around the country beginning in the 1930s. And I am so very proud to have cast my lot with them and honored to have stood on the shoulders of true giants. Looking back over that double chai of years, there is no question that whatever successes we have had here are the result of a sacred partnership. Together, we have done great things to lead this community forward. So many people made our success possible. Rabbis, cantors, administrators, executive directors, lay leaders, board members, committee heads, and scores of volunteers. All of us can take justifiable pride in a congregation that has been true to its rich history and now stands ready to face, to embrace a future that will be filled with a whole new set of challenges, as well as, oh, so many new opportunities. You are blessed to have strong leadership in place. Rabbi Benji Forrester, Cantor Rachel Brook, Cantor Josh Rosenberg, a very capable executive director in Mimi Weisberg, along with a truly remarkable staff, devoted officers, board members, and lay leadership, and to Sam Schwartz-Fenwick, who leads the lay community. We thank you. I am confident that Rabbi David Epstein will serve this congregation well as interim senior rabbi. And I have full faith that Rabbi Michelle Schlesinger will be the right person to lead this congregation forward into the future. They will most certainly have my support. There is much work yet to be done, and each of you have a role to play in this. Be their partners in this holy task. Support them and allow them to lead. Your engagement is vital if this community will be prepared to cross the Jordan rivers that await it. I truly feel blessed to have had this opportunity, and I'm deeply grateful to my wife Janet and to our children, Joe and Casey, Rebecca, Dina, Cody, and Emma, and to our growing family. None of this would have been possible without your support, without your love, without your sacrifice. This is the lesson of leadership that the portion of Chukat offers me this Shabbat. As I noted earlier, we have a double portion this morning. Within the second portion of Balak, there is an equally important charge for you. Balak tells an odd story, a pagan prophet, Balaam, who was hired by a Moabite king to curse the people of Israel. King Balak wished us ill, and God would not follow it. It is the story of a seer who could not see that which was directly in front of him. It is the incredible tale of a prophet who needed a talking donkey to open his eyes. The story is a strange one, but it unfolds among a people who continue to doubt themselves as well as each other, and a people deeply, deeply divided. As the diabolical plans of King Balak unfolded, God did something remarkable and unexpected. Rather than turn away from this rebellious, troublesome people, the Israelites, God showed them through the mouth of their enemy exactly what God sees when God looks upon the household of the people of Israel. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. How goodly are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. 6 words spoken by Balaam, but the vision of who Israel was and who they could yet be, that was God's vision. I believe this story contained in the portion of Balak offers a charge to the people of Israel, b'chol dor vador, in every generation. In every generation, we're asked to open our eyes and see the good that God saw in us, in Bnei Israel, and aspire to be that. This would include our generation, maybe most especially our generation. We are living through a most challenging moment, buffeted on every side. If King Balak were alive today, he would no doubt be pleased by the way Bnei Israel is being cursed from every quarter. Not all that different than the time of Moses and the generation of the wilderness. Now, it would give me great pleasure on this Shabbat morning to say to you that things are going to get easier for the Jewish people anytime soon. But I cannot honestly say that. What I will say is that rather than focus on the things and the people we cannot change, let us focus on what we can impact, beginning with ourselves and our country. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, how goodly are your tents, O Jacob. Criticism and disagreement are endemic to who we are as a people. That was true in the time of Moses, and certainly it's true in our age. What is imperative is that along with acknowledging where we are falling short, let us also choose to see that which is tov, that which is good, that which is extraordinary about us, and celebrate that as God did through Balaam. That would include the wondrous arc of Jewish history, the remarkable faith, resiliency, and creativity of the Jewish people. Ma tovu, what is good is that we have had the good fortune to come to America, where Jews have had more opportunities in this democracy now celebrating its 250th birthday than any time in Jewish history. Here, we have built the strongest diasporic community since the exile began. Here, we have been allowed to engage in the democratic process, and here we must double down and work to ensure that America remains true to America. A country faithful to its founding documents, to its keystone principles, calling out to us from the very ceiling of this sanctuary. All men are created equal. Let us do our part to fulfill those words based upon the opening sentence of the Torah. Na'aseh Adam kitsalmenu v'chidmutenu. Let us create humans in our likeness and in our image. It is our task, just as it has been for generations before us, to create, to do what we can to create a more perfect union for our time as Americans and as proud Jews. Ma tovu. What is tov is the fact that there is a state of Israel, a homeland for the Jewish people, a miracle by any measure, a country both inspirational and maddening. These past few years have been difficult on so many levels. Israel has shown itself to be remarkably resilient throughout. At the same time, Israel reflects the flawed nature of its leaders and its human frailties. There is only one Jewish state in the world, and we in the diaspora, we in Galus, have a responsibility to acknowledge what is tov about Medinat Yisrael and to stand with her and to speak out and to ensure that that Medinat Yisrael reflects the Jewish values that we all hold dear. These two blessings, that of America and that of Israel, must never be taken for granted. Let us also speak honestly and openly about the challenges we face, fully appreciative of what a difficult moment in which we live, and believe that we are truly empowered to create new blessings in the future. Let us never become so focused on what is lacking that we lose sight of what is tov, what is good, and the myriad of ways that we are blessed. I close with full appreciation of the second half of that phrase, Mishkanotecha Yisrael, the sanctuary of Israel, and with it, the good and the true blessing of this Anshe Emet community. This is such a special place, a truly welcoming and caring Jewish community, dynamic, unafraid of change, open to debate and authentic to our tradition, a community that reflects a true love of Am Yisrael and Medinat Yisrael, the people and the land of Israel. Amidst the challenges of the moment, there is so much that is tov. There is so much worthy of our celebration. Anshe Emet is the living reflection of the pluralistic idea of conservative Judaism. The belief that a single community can hold within it the full spectrum of Jewish belief, of halachic practice, of the genuine diversity of our people. and still be one community, still be one kihila. We show that every Shabbat and holiday as our community gathers in the sanctuary and the rose-crowned minyan, reflecting the diversity of Judaism. Over the years, I have marveled as this congregation evolved with remarkable vitality. Our willingness to challenge halakha, to speak to the needs of the people with authenticity, to build bridges with the Black community and stand together in their pain as they did with ours. Let us engage fully in this Avodat Kodesh, this holy work, by continuing to celebrate and building this extraordinary Mishkan, this holy community, and create new blessings with an eye toward the goodness that it represents today, always, always, always leading to a brighter future. This talit that I am wearing today is nearly 30 years old. I purchased it from an artist who painted words on the silk atara, the collar piece. She asked me at the time what verse I wanted on my talit. There were so many to choose from, I began to hesitate. She quickly asked me, well, what quotation do you think speaks to the essence of your rabbinate? Without missing a beat, I said, Matovu o'alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. How good are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. And that is what she painted on this atara. Today, as you can see, the atara is tattered and faded. The only thing you can see just the tops of the words of that verse from our Torah reading this morning. For me, there is a deep truth in this worn collar piece. You see, we no longer need to wear those words as an aspiration here at Anshe Emet. This ancient prophecy has been actualized in the walls of this institution to a large extent in this Kihilat Kedosha. I see it when I walk through the halls and feel the energy, when I see people welcomed into our community in the full diversity, when I hear the words of Torah that are shared, listen to parents praise our religious school, or when I walk into Kiddush lunch, as we will in a moment, and see the spectrum of a truly great, diverse people of all ages, sitting, talking, laughing, listening, and engaging deeply in the blessing of community right here at Anshe Emet. The goodness of a true Mishkenotecha Yisrael. My prayer is that you will always appreciate what a blessing it is to be part of Anshe Emet. Celebrating that which is Tov by getting involved and lending your support on every level. Toda Rabbah. Please accept my sincere thanks for the privilege of serving as your senior rabbi of this great congregation for 36 years and for being part of your lives for 44. I can't think of a better way to close than with the words of our Torah portion, which I invite you to sing along with me. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov hands, O Jacob, your synagogues, O Israel.
Yasher Koyach. Thank you, Rabbi. Before we conclude our service, you can stay standing, because as you have stood with countless families and community members on this bima and always encouraged us to look at the blessing of the moment and the blessing of being alive and allowed to reach this moment, we would be honored if you would lead us in Shehachianu, and then with the words that we use to close a book of Torah, because much like the mourner's Kaddish is not about death, these words that we recite when we close a book of Torah are not about an ending, but a blessing of the strength that you give to us and that you bless us with as we move forward in these coming years, and the blessing that we offer you as you enter this new phase of your life with Janet, with your beautiful family, and with our community as well.
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higyanu l'zman hazeh. Take it away.
Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek.
Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek.
Be strong, and together we will always be strengthened. Amen.
Amen. And if you would lead us in Kiddush and Motzi.
Al Ken Baruch Adonai et Yom HaShabbat v'yikadshehu savri.
L'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
Melech haolam. Borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Please join me.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. She's so beautiful.